Hey guys, Brent Hull, Wednesday design video. A little bit of a change today. We're actually on a job site. I wanted to show you what happens when we, flip over and showing you those pictures, but actually how it happens on a job, how we infuse that design and made it a reality. Come check it out. So what we're showing is three different panel types, three different sizes of panels that are going to infuse a different, feel and presence in this room. So, what you're seeing here is the middle panel, right? And this middle panel is made with antique oak. We've got a taller panel and then a shorter panel. We made these, and by the way, in our building, we have a samples budget, okay? So this samples is to handle things like this, because in this original design, I'm showing the paneling in here. That wasn't part of the original thing. They just had, sheetrock walls. And so I really think that because this entry in this room is so important, elevating it with paneling is important, right? It gives it a sense of presence, purpose, importance, and everything else. Now, you'll see that my design for the cap was kind of this large block, right, which is right here, and then a bed mold underneath it, which is right there. So my guys in the shop are actually, copying and doing things that we're designing. But what I want to show the client, what I'm going to try to show to you, is that each one of these has a different personality, and the antique oak, okay, has a different feel than regular quarter sawn oak. Now, I have to have quarter sawn or rift oak if it's new growth. If it's old growth, I don't have to worry as much about that because the growth rings are so tight in this wood, it doesn't really give me a problem. But look at the character in here, right? Look at the knots, the detailing, the dark spots, the pegging, right? When this gets, a finish put on it, all of a sudden those details pop, and this just has, and this could be much more rustic, right? We could have some really big knots, we could have some really crazy defects, we could have wormholes in this thing. So there's kind of a dial that we're playing with on this woodwork that enables us to dial in exactly the look we wanted. Now, the tall panel, right, is bigger. Now, it's appropriate for the size of this room, which has, 20-foot ceilings in here. But I've also got pegging, right? This kind of panel design idea is kind of an arts and crafts kind of style, right? We're not doing the classical 32-inch thing. We're actually building in kind of a paneled wall like they did in England with the paneled walls. And so now you're seeing, because it's new quarter sawn white oak, it is much cleaner, right? This is beautiful and modern, okay, in my opinion, the way this looks. It doesn't have the character defects that other one has. And so you're looking at the difference here. And then in this lower panel that we did here, there's no pegging, right? There's no pegs that are going in here. It's even more simple and clean. So the whole idea was to give the client an idea of what the different looks and the different paneling would do for the feel, right? What the different character, certainly shorter wainscoting around the room idea, right? Metal panel, right? Because that size panel there could go in here, or it could go in the entry hall because the scale is about right. And then in here, do you like the two different woods? Which wood do you like? Do you like the character of that antique wood, or do you like the cleanliness of this quarter sawn white oak, right? So it starts with this, guys, where I give the conceptual idea to a client because they had this 3D modeling worked up and I didn't like that, right? So I come back and I infuse in this thing more traditional building techniques, traditional building elements like the timbers that you see here, right? We got 4 timbers in this wall that are showing an antique beaming, an antique material that we want to infuse that then goes up and ties into these beams that are going to run across the top. So now this room has a feel, it has a canopy, has a tradition, right? And a story. It almost looks like the interior of that barn project. And so, so we go from this conceptual drawing, right? Well, this conceptual drawing from the architect, this conceptual drawing from me. The truth is, one of the designers is like, I don't like that. We're not going to do that. And I was like, just trust me. You're going to see this paneling and you're going to fall in love with it. So we built the samples and everybody did fall in love with it. Everybody did like it. We ended up landing on this paneling here, okay? And possibly using some of this other paneling in these different rooms. But there's now a hierarchy here, and look how it's gonna tie in together. If you watch my episode on the stairs, notice I've got these timbered stairs in here. And that's really the look that's going to happen here, where we've taken these massive timbers that are 14 inches by 7 inches, and we've crafted this stair going all the way up. We're going to have a really cool handrail that goes across here. And so I've got now this infusion of materials, right? And here we are playing with materials, playing with the subtlety of materials, right? We've got antique beams for stair treads. We've got antique material here. We've got timbers here, actual historic timbers, right? A lot of things that we're pushing into this house to give it this character that I think matches this rustic, wilderness that we're looking out to. It's beautiful. You have the plateau in the distance, but this, in my opinion, needs some of that materiality that's gonna infuse it. On the walls here, everybody agrees that we like this clay finish, okay? This clay finish is one of those finishes that are really popular today that we are putting on the walls of our houses to give a texture. So we're no longer doing, splatter drags, we're no longer doing trowel finishes. This is a custom finish that we're putting on top of the drywall. And you can look at it here, kind of get the sense of the size of it. Maybe it's 1/8 of an inch thick that sits on top of our sheetrock, but gives it that kind of old world plaster look that I think everybody loves. Okay, so that paneling, right? That dial that we're playing with to give it that story, that narrative, the timbered treads, all of those different things, infuse materiality, I think make it better. Let me know what you think. I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.